Bleeding welcome, I'm Bleeding Critic. And before I inject you with a dose of horror medication, William Friedkin reminded me yesterday that today is also the release of the 40th anniversary of his film The Exorcist. So make sure you purchase this immediately on Blu-ray. I'm very proud to present to you my latest horror medication story. This story is called The Walker. Her husband was killed 4.5 years ago. He confronted a young man, and this young man threw a finished cigarette butt 7 feet in any direction, and then spat a large glob of watery green gob on the pavement where kids would walk to school and mothers would walk to enter the local store. The thug, not caring what others thought, her husband was strong and could handle himself. And after telling off the thug, who couldn't understand basic English, as her husband walked away, a full sealed can of beer was bashed into her husband's skull 28 times. Not long after her husband was buried, she arranged a visit from an established medium who suggested she walk. It'll make you feel better over time. So she walked every day over 4.5 years, wearing the same clothes she wore when she found out her husband was horrifically deleted. Her jeans were almost falling off her due to the rips. Her blue parka coat, worn in all weathers, was now filthy black. No one knew her name. Even a Facebook page was created for the villagers to inform each other where she was walking. They called her Poppy. Not just because it was a cute name, but because she just kept on popping up in all different locations in the village, just walking. Many people offered her fresh clothes and money, but she refused. She didn't like crowds, so she never accepted offers to go into a coffee shop or a restaurant. On occasion, she did accept a cup of tea only in someone's home. The locals were concerned for her safety, as the village had a reputation of grooming gangs targeting young white girls and the adult vulnerable. For some unknown luck, it seemed everyone left her alone. After 4.5 years, the empathy and sympathy was sagging from some people. The authorities were useless and tied to human rights bullshit and tick boxing, so they couldn't exercise common sense to help her in the way that they should have. Her incredibly sad situation was about to turn a hairpin bend. One young creative man was planning to pretend to be possessed by her dead husband, then with a deep voice tell her, "Don't walk anymore and rebuild your life." Although a genuine but mad intention, his wife suggested he'll probably get himself arrested. The 6-legged demon had a face that changed every 13 seconds, changing from one of its past victims to another. No one could see the demon unless you were to be his next target. His 6 legs enabled him to run very fast, which was useful when ripping to death those that dared to consider escaping. You may have been informed that demons used to be human. This is not true. Demons are born demons. However, a human can be cursed to return as a demon after experiencing a nasty, painful death, like being buried alive. The demon chose Poppy as his next victim. The demonic process of choosing a victim is simple. All victims preferably need to be on medication. This is not essential, This can enhance the taste of their flesh, a bit like salt and vinegar on fish and chips. Citalopram is a favourite. Walking behind the walker, early October, the demon noticed Poppy's neck tattoo, and he scuttled closer, and he was shocked to see the large inked image was of himself. It was a beautiful tattoo that was perfect. It was a perfect replica of the way he looked to those that saw him just before death. Out of character, the demon spoke to Poppy, the first time he spoke to anyone in 47 human years.
"Your tattoo," he said, "is me."
Poppy stopped walking and slowly turned. She recognised the demon immediately. Poppy spoke well, like a person from a wealthy background, which was a stark contrast to the homeless look she adopted. "I watched you remove my mother and father from my life 23 years ago. I got this tattoo etched on my skin when I was 17. It took me a long time to get the right tattoo artist. I went all the way to Canada. I needed someone that was good with tattooing blocks of colour together, red and black." The demon listened with interest. This was a first, a banal, one-sided speech from a calm person who was about to be eaten. Poppy continued. "It's strange that people can have any image they wish on their skin, but are unimaginative with their inked choices. I wanted something special, and you are special because the memory of my parents is negative. My mother was not fit for purpose, and she had not a motherly bone in her body. And my father, well, he was just weak, just a puppet for others to take advantage of. He wasn't a real man's man." The demon observed that his intended victim could talk. It was like she spent far too much time on her own. He presumed she was strangely excited to meet him again after 23 years.
"I'm going to kill you,"
the demon said.
"It'll be very painful, but on this occasion, I can offer you several options."
Poppy didn't show any emotion. She said, "I know you've been following and watching me, but one thing you haven't done yet is follow me to where I go every day." There now follows a 15-minute interval. When you return, you'll be able to witness the second part of my story, The Walker.